I would like, in my next slide, I would like to introduce our amazing student, Gemma Crawford. Gemma is one of our best students in pre-medical studies. She's currently studying Certificate of Higher Education Pre-Medical Studies. She's been excellent so far, and we're very proud to have her here. And she's going to give you a little bit an introduction about her experience with us, studying with us. And I'll leave it to you, Gemma, to present yourself and tell more a little bit about pre-medical studies.
Thank you so much. So hi everyone. I'm Gemma and I am a current student on pre-medical studies, and essentially I want to be a doctor. So I am using this course to apply to medical school. And in fact, I currently have 2 interviews. So one at UEA and one at University of Bristol. I have one offer to start biomedical science at Anglia Ruskin starting from year 2. So I don't have to start from year 1, I can start from year 2. And I'm currently waiting to hear back from another university as well, which is King's in London. But I just want to point out as well that there are other people on the course who have used it to apply for different degrees. So not necessarily medicine. So for example, pharmacy and forensic science. Somebody got an offer for forensic science as well. So I guess I wanted to discuss as well how I decided to do this course and what my path was leading up to this. So I was originally studying for a degree. I was studying remote using I guess I won't name it, but you can probably think of the biggest university that's conducted just online. So I was studying there, and my plan was to get a degree and then apply for graduate entry medicine. But then when I looked into it more, I realized that undergraduate medicine to apply for med school is a much more realistic prospect for me. First of all, it's less competitive, and I would also be able to do it. It's less intense, so I would be able to do it in my circumstances. So for example, me, I have a daughter, a little girl. So I thought it's more realistic that I spread it over 5 years. So that's something to consider. And how I actually decided on this course was I had a friend who had gone to the University of Cambridge, and we'd lost touch for all these years, but then she actually we got back in touch, and she really recommended the whole Cambridge experience. She really said it was like foundational to her. So I decided I also wanted to do that, and I would go for it. And here I am. So I just wanted to highlight some positives that I've gotten so far. So right now I'm about halfway through the course. My cohort is the second cohort. The biggest advantage I would say is the people that you meet. And I know that sounds strange because, you'd think the biggest thing would be that, this course has given me someone who doesn't have any science A levels. It has given me an interview to medical school, 2 interviews so far to medical school, which is incredible when you think about it, like no A levels, and yet here I am. But anyway, I still think the biggest advantage is just the people I've met, just because the people are just genuinely interesting people. Some of the wildest stories, craziest jobs, life experiences, and I just see so many of them will become great doctors. And to me, that's just so motivational. And yeah, I think because med school and the pre-med journey is so hard, I think you really have to, when you're deciding what to do, if this course is right for you, you really have to weigh up the fact that you can't put a price on that, the sort of people that you'll be with. Just sort of to compare it, I know this is just, I guess, anecdotal, but I have another friend who's pursuing medicine at a college, doing an access course, and the class that she's in, they're so much younger, they're not that serious about medicine, they don't have life experience, so that makes it quite hard for her to integrate. And likewise, I know someone else at another college doing another course, an access course, and she's the only person on the course. So I can't even imagine that's just crazy, because you need, basically, to get through this difficult process, you will need the support of other people. And in fact, where I'm sitting right now, I'm in the house of one of my friends who did the course last year. She's become my friend. We're friends. I'm in her house doing this. We've both got an interview tomorrow at Norwich at UEA. So I think that just is a testament to the kind of experience that you will, that I'm sure you will have if you join this course. You will be with like-minded people, and I can almost guarantee you will have you will have something in common with them, and you'll have a good experience in that regard. Another advantage I just wanted to point out, or another positive experience that I've had on this course, is actually being in Cambridge, at the University of Cambridge. So, you know, even if things don't work out for me, if I don't pass the interviews, I know I will look back at this year and I will be happy, because it's just been such a cool experience that, you know, I am glad that I've had, you know, I've had the experience for even for the sake of it, even if it doesn't lead to medical school in my case, for example. I also just wanted to point out a couple of things. I know it was mentioned earlier that this course is equivalent of 120 credits at level 4. So something really useful about that is you can apply, as I have done, to start in courses starting in year 2. So that's something as well to consider, that even if you get to the end and you realize, as some people have done, that medicine isn't for them, it's not been a waste. That is, you are still gaining a qualification which is very transferable to finish a degree in another subject, or even just by itself having a certificate of higher education. Maybe other courses, if you're considering, or for example, considering an access to medicine course that is quite specific to medicine, whereas it's much broader. Something else I wanted to point out as well is that for me, I guess if I looked at the alternatives, perhaps doing A-levels, there was a lot of disadvantages there. It takes a longer time. It's not tailored toward medicine, you know, compared to this. So for example, tomorrow at my interview, I know I'm going to have a lot to speak about. I'm going to have an edge again, you know, I'm going to have one up against the candidates who are just going in with A-levels, just because this has been purely medicine focused. Whereas, you know, in A-levels, you might learn things that are not relevant, like plant biology. And also you have to bear in mind that if you're doing A-levels and you do them online, not everywhere will accept A-levels that you do online. Whereas this, because this is perfect, it is, you know, some of it is done online, it is remote, but there is that in-person element. I've not, you know, I'm really happy with the places I've applied. And as I say, I've got interviews and hopefully I'll get another one as well. The other thing as well is just, I'm sure this will come up later, but just to touch on funding, is I was able to, this is obviously just speaking about my own experience, but I was able to get student finance and get loans for both the fees and for the living costs, and grants for childcare and for having a child. So those are things which made this course really doable. And I suppose at the end of the day, this is why this was the real option for me, because it is that hybrid format. It was doable. So I was still able to work part-time. I live in Leeds, which isn't very near to Cambridge. So I was, you know, but I can go to Cambridge once a month. Whereas if, you know, other ways you'd probably have to go all in person, and that's not plausible for most people who come at medicine later in life. I also think as well, I don't have really any healthcare experience, and I studied science GCSEs a long time ago, but I would say it's very doable. Yes, it's hard, but you know, everything in life which is worth doing is hard. So yeah, overall, I'm very happy. And thank you so much for letting me share my experience.